So yes, today we had one of those incidents that anybody flying a drone always dreads. You never want to hear about it, you never want to see it, you never want it to happen to you, but sooner or later, if you fly as much as I do every day, you know, it's going to happen sooner or later, and today was the day. But the difference today was it was calm out, it was nice, the drone went for a little flight of its own, we lost it. It took about an hour. It was wandering around in the dinghy because I didn't know if it went down on land or on shore. It basically just got a mind of its own and took off. And in looking back at the footage, I think we figured out part of what the problem was, so I thought we'd be able to share it with you because since we found it, it was actually almost in one piece. We had lost a couple of pieces, but pretty much everything was there, including the GoPro, and that was the biggest factor. I mean, I was so worried we was going to lose that brand new GoPro 4. It's something very hard to replace down here. I've got lots of drones on board, but only so many GoPros.
So in looking back and trying to determine what caused the crash, I remember I did 2 launches today. I ended up abandoning the first flight because when I took it out over the side of the boat, I noticed almost immediately it started flying a little bit erratically, kind of wandering around on its own. It stabilized, so I held it there for a little while and just watched what it was doing, but as soon as I started to turn it towards the north, and you notice over here, that is due north, right past those sailboats. As soon as I did that, that's when it started wandering in circles and I started having to correct. You can see in the flight it's flying a little bit erratically and I'm correcting to hold it there. I also noticed that the status LED at the back had switched from flashing green to a steady red. So I assumed there was some kind of problem. I immediately brought it back and landed. I figured it was a compass alignment issue, so I did a realignment of the compass. Everything seemed good, checked out, so then I took it up for the second launch. This time, I put it through the same tests. Everything seemed okay. Kept flashing green, so I brought it around the bow of the boat and started to move a little bit farther away, but continually paying attention to what it was doing. And after a little bit, everything seemed okay, so I took it up to 100 feet and just kept watching it, make sure everything was good, but watching the FPV monitor at the same time. Again, just hovered there for a little while and the monitor kept saying I had 8 to 9 GPS satellites locked in, so the signal was strong. It wasn't dropping out, so I decided to fly a little bit closer to shore. So all systems checked, smooth and stable flight, was getting some nice shots, so I just decided to sit there for a little bit and put it into a slow turn and catch the scenery. And then you'll notice as I started getting around here to the north, it started flying erratically again. As soon as it was pointed north, something hit it and it was affected and it just lost it completely no matter what I did. I switched it out of GPS mode so that it would hopefully stabilize and stop trying to track its own position, and that had no effect whatsoever. I tried to steady it out flying the FPV screen, it was gone. I put it back into GPS, still nothing. And at this point from the 45-degree flight angle you can tell it is no longer in GPS or attitude mode. It has been blocked and it's switched to manual mode with no control whatsoever.
So here, as you can see, is what we found in the ocean, and it was floating still above water and pretty much in one piece. We'd lost a landing gear. My long-range FPV gear on the top got ripped off in the collision, and when I found it, it was pretty much just dangling upside down like that with the camera in the water. But lucky for us, it was using one of the waterproof FPV housings I'd put together a while ago, and that actually, because it's attached to the drone with the wire, kept the camera on board. We managed to save the GoPro. It came out intact and dry, and after sitting in the water for almost an hour, and luckily and most importantly with the chip inside, so we still got the footage, and of course that's always important. You never want to lose your footage if at all possible. But as you can see, the only reason we got this drone back and the reason that most of it survived is because it is a waterproof drone and it floats. And I'm sorry, but that is a big advantage out here if you're gonna be flying anywhere around boats, water, marinas, anything like that. I'm not sure why anybody would buy anything that doesn't float these days. There are options available. So why would you buy something that you know if it hits the water, it's going to sink like a stone? So I'm very happy that we were able to recover it today. I was a little bit worried there. I was looking around for an hour. I didn't know which direction exactly it went. So anyway, lessons learned, but we got the drone back. We'll get it back up in the air again in a few hours. Just need to change out some parts and we'll be back up and running. So hope you guys are lucky if anything like that happens to you also, and fly safe. Have a great day and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.